In Dead Space 1, you played as a space miner.
A dude named Isaac Clarke, who is an engineer.
And then you had to take your Tonka power tools,
which in the future are guns that shoot projectiles at zombified space aliens.
And you are sent out to rescue this ship called the Ishimura, which is having some sort of problem, a space problem.
You had a special lady friend who maybe was missing, or...
There's a woman who you're going after. I believe that she's Isaac, the main character's girlfriend.
She was stationed on the Ishimura, and you want to find her. And you occasionally see these visions of her, and and hear her voice and stuff.
I don't think this was the game where she was evil yet.
And you're on a ship,
which I think is a planet-cracking ship, which I think is a ship that cracks planets.
You get to the Ishimura, and the crew of the Ishimura are turning into these necromorph creatures that have really sharp arms and
then you put on your spaceman suit, and then you start killing space zombies with your space carpentry tools.
There was, I think, a marker on the planet that it was cracking called Aegis 7 or 8? Aegis 7. Let's go with Aegis 7.
There's also a marker, and I can't remember if that was a marker or like a marker. But they did talk about the marker a lot.
Now the markers are these artifacts that have been discovered, and the black marker has been on Earth and hidden and kept there by the government. But the Unitologist movement has discovered the marker.
Basically, the markers are like these beacons that receive signals from the really deep parts of space where zombified space aliens live.
Zombies happened?
So the virus infects people, and then they become necromorphs. And the hive mind is able to control the necromorphs.
So Isaac Clarke, he's an engineer. He uses a plasma cutter and a ripper.
You find out that your girlfriend is dead, I think, or at least the chapter letters, the first letter of each chapter spells out that your girlfriend is dead.
Spoiler, his girlfriend is dead. That's Dead Space 1.
Isaac was captured and tortured by Earthbound, his mind harvested for the marker's secrets.
So in Dead Space 2, you're on another ship.
At the beginning of Dead Space 2, you've been in some kind of insanity coma for a while.
The difference is that he's not on the he is on the Ishimura for a small part of Dead Space 2, but for most of Dead Space 2, he's on Titan, I think, which is one of one of Jupiter's moons.
And there are different space zombies, but this time you're crazy.
I don't really remember how the story went, but there was a part where Isaac was stomping on space zombies.
And you're in a medical facility, but then all hell starts breaking loose.
And it was in a medical bay. So he was doing surgery, you could say, with his boot.
He goes to a shopping mall and a train station, and I want to say he goes to a Unitology church.
You learn all about Unitology, which is this religion that worships the markers. So, and we already, it's pretty much entirely clear at this point that the markers are what causes the necromorphs. So
markers are just these big, ugly obelisks that magically show up in the Gulf of Mexico for no reason. So that's a weird religion to start.
Then towards the end of the game, there was a part where for some reason you had to stick a thing in your face.
At the end, you go into your own brain and you face the demons that haunt you. It's the real battle was never against the necromorphs, it was against yourself, and you triumph over the demons inside you and you win, and then the game ends. That's the end of Dead Space 2.